I've used the strategies in the 12-week year to accomplish my YouTube goals, my business goals, and even my personal goals. It is actually possible to reach your goals in just 12 weeks if you have the right system in place. And that system starts with your mindset. So the authors of the book 12-Week Year call us to look at our goals in segments of 12 weeks instead of the year because the year is too far out. And this isn't to say that we're not going to have yearly goals or 5-year goals, 10-year goals, but we're going to focus our energy and our attention on our 12-week goals to help us get to those other ones. And this way you also get to focus on your goals with extreme intensity 4 times a year instead of just once a year, and you're going to capitalize on that energy to help you get there. That's because it creates a stronger, faster connection between your goals and your results. But what are we actually moving towards, you might ask? So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how I plan for the 12-week year so I can actually meet my goals. As we go through it, I'm actually going to be explaining the 12-week year strategies to you as well so that you can apply it. So let's jump into this system. And that brings us to the next point, which is the vision. So first he talks about shifting our mindset from yearly to 12-week segments. Then he also talks about having a vision. I definitely want to caution you before you jump into just making your 12-week year goals, you really want to revisit your vision from either the beginning of the year or whenever you did your vision work. What's most important to you in life? What are your values? What is showing up as your highest self actually look like? Where do you want to be in 5 years and 10 years? Create that vision for yourself. And if you don't have a vision, it's time to get one. So the author of the 12-week year, Brian P. Moran, said, "The secret to living your life to its potential is to value the important stuff above your own comfort. Therefore, the critical first step to executing well is creating and maintaining a compelling vision of the future that you want even more than you desire your own short-term comfort, and then aligning your shorter-term goals and plans with that long-term vision." So even before sitting down to write out my goals for this next quarter that we're moving into, I can't even believe it's already the second quarter of the year, I took the time to revisit my vision in my goal planner and my Mod Ambition planner. So I revisited my vision board, I revisited my goals, but also I took a look at one of the really great pages in the Mod Ambition goal planner section is the rocket fuel. Not only do you list your goals, but you list why you want them and why you believe you're going to get them. And that's great for 2 reasons. One, because it reconnects you with your why, and we know there's a lot of research that shows the more connected you are to your why behind your goals, the more likely you are to reach them. And then why you believe you will reach them is also good to revisit because the more you believe in your goals, right, easier they are to achieve. So I looked at that. I also looked at my 5-year goals and my 10-year goals, which I added to the goal planner just to reacquaint myself of what actually am I moving towards so I can make sure that my 12-week year goals are actually bringing me closer to that larger vision and what's most important to me in life. And then after looking at my vision, I also take some time to review how I did in my last 12-week year. I look at my wins from the previous quarter, but I also look at my challenges and my learning lessons so I can take both of those things to the next quarter. So capitalizing on my wins and learning from my challenges. So for me personally, last quarter, I met a lot of my goals, like quit drinking alcohol at home. I also got monetized here on YouTube, and I hit my sales goals in my business. But there were a few things that I needed to work on from last quarter as well. I could have done better with my gut health nutrition. March, I've gotten back on track, but that's one of the challenges that I had, which also led me to feeling like I needed more support. I learned I need to ask for help. So I had also a lot of lessons from the last quarter that I'm going to take with me into this quarter as well. So let's move on to the next part. Plan your execution. So let me show you exactly how to implement the 12-week year strategies now that you have your mindset, you have your vision. Now it's time to move on to our quarterly goals. And I want to describe how to do that process using the book, The 12-Week Year, and I'll also show you practically with my own planning for this quarter. So what I love about Mod Ambition Planner, it really helps you get going with the quarterly planning. I'm going to share those prompts with you so you can do this on your own or you can follow along in the planner. So the first one is, what's your intention? For me, my intention this quarter is to continue streamlining my efforts, so not getting distracted, focusing on the things that are going to move the needle for me, and capitalizing on my time. I have been able to buy my time back, a lot of it by having a babysitter on the weekend. I also have some video editors helping me out. I want to be sure that the time that I'm buying back, I'm actually capitalizing on and either using to take care of myself or to move the needle in my business. this quarter I'm excited for. So that's another prompt that's gonna help us get into the framework of what we truly want for this quarter. So I'm excited for my son's birthday. His birthday is April 2nd. My family is coming in town. I'm excited about that. We're also gonna go to visit Texas in May. I'm from Texas. My family lives there, so it'll be exciting to see everyone. And I'm pretty excited for some videos that I have coming out on my YouTube channel. Then it moves into looking at your wins and your challenges from last quarter, like I said, so we can capitalize on these things. So for me, my wins for last quarter were getting support, surviving, and staying strong. So like I said, I got an editor, I got someone to help me with my blog. I have someone at night when my husband's out of town to help me, a mommy helper. So just getting support, asking support was a major win. Surviving when my husband was out of town was definitely a major win, and just staying strong in those moments that I felt weak or tired or just so exhausted I was doing everything on my own. So what were your wins from last quarter? And then also my lessons from last quarter. Meal prepping is a key for me. Like I mentioned, I had fell off with a lot of my gut health strategies. Most of them are about nutrition. And I found that if I don't meal prep, it's so much harder for me to stick to what I'm trying to do and the things I'm trying to change. So that was a big lesson. Choosing my office days wisely. So I go into the office about once a week, but if I can choose the days that my husband's are in town to go in office versus trying to go when he's out of town, life is just so much easier for me. So that was a big lesson. Be sure to pause and think about your own lessons from this past quarter and what do you want to take with you as far as wins and challenges into the next quarter. And then the next thing I do in my goal planner is I kind of take a look at where am I towards my larger vision. And I just try to track that by looking at my yearly goals that my 12-week years are moving me closer to and seeing how much progress I am. So at this point of the year, I would expect myself to be at about 25% towards reaching my yearly goals, which are stated here kind of vaguely, so I can keep some privacy, but you guys can still have an idea of what I'm working towards. For me, the one that I'm kind of where I expect myself to be is to enjoy and nurture my family, and where I could use improvement are wellness and expanding my business. Then if we turn the page, we have the final prompts that you're going to write out. So for me, my mantra for this quarter is I can. That's something that you want to turn back to. If you can find a mantra for yourself for this quarter that you can turn back through and keep with you, kind of like your word of the year. For me, it's I can. You also want to think about what is your priority this quarter. Now you may have just revisited your vision and have all these things on your mind that you want to get done, like a lot of us do. We also want to be able to focus our energy and effort so we can actually produce results. So think about what's your priority for this quarter. For me, my priorities are my Amazon goals that I have for my Amazon storefront. I also have some YouTube assets that I want to get done this quarter. So I want to create a B-roll library, an audio library, just to make my workflow easier, and to organize my Notion. And then the last two prompts are, what are you saying yes to and what are you saying no to this quarter? I'm saying yes to laughter, easy weekends, date nights, family fun, progress, and rest. Okay, I put an exclamation point next to rest. And what I'm saying no to is forcing, rigidity, and putting myself second. So what are you saying yes to and what are you saying no to this quarter? All right, so that moves me into my actual quarterly goals. And yes, your quarterly goals don't have to be completely quantitative. They can be qualitative actually if you want them to. But for me, at the end of the quarter, I like to look back and say, did I meet that goal or did I not? So it's helpful for me, even if it's more qualitative goal, because I've gotten this question a lot, write it in a way so you can know if you achieved it or not. So I like to write by Q3, I will, and then write the goal. So it helps you kind of frame it in a way that you can check it off. So let me give you my specific one so you can really see how I'm doing it. I'm focusing on financial wellness to help me get to my total wellness. And I said by Q3, I will be operating from a clear picture of my finances and increasing my revenue. My second goal is under the capacity of YouTube, which falls under expanding my business vision. By Q3, I will either reach 6,400 subscribers, so if you want to help me out with that, you can click below, or I will have 15,000 average views per month on my channel. And then my last area of priority for this quarter is body wellness. Again, moving me closer to that total wellness goal. By Q3, I will improve my gut health, no bloating or GI issue. Now you may be thinking, but what if I do have a goal like, you know, I want to reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube? That's kind of out of my control. What do I do then? And that's what we're about to move into, more of the things that are under our control and the actionable things that we'll be doing to help us meet our 12-week year goals. And the first step is to break them into monthly priorities. Each quarter, you're going to have monthly goals that move you closer to your quarterly goals. That's why it's good to have a monthly plan, a quarterly plan, and also weekly plans and daily plans to move you closer to the month. The monthly goals, they can be the same goals as your quarterly goals. They can be a fraction of your quarterly goal to help you get there. Or lastly, they can just be something you want to focus on this month that's going to help you get to quarterly goals. Let's say you have a project that's part of your quarterly goals, like renovating the deck. Your monthly priority might be, which is kind of like the fraction, making a list of contractors that you're going to call. And then month 2, your priority is calling maybe 2 a week. And month 3 is like, you know, getting the work done. Let me show you guys what mine are so that you can understand what I'm talking about. My first monthly goal is just the same as quarterly goal for that section, which is to have a clear picture of my finances. My second one is a fraction monthly goal. So by the end of April, I want to have 10,000 views per month, moving me closer to the 15K. That is the quarterly goal. I want to have 5,000 subscribers, which is moving me close to 400 subs. So that one is an example of a fraction goal. And then my third monthly priority for April is to reduce my bloat days by 50%, which is a priority that is moving me closer to improving my gut health. So now we know what our priorities are for the month of April. Then we're going to break that down into actionable lead goals. And I have already filled out my 12-week year scorecard, which is where I lay out all of my actionable lead goals. So actionable lead goals are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, timely. They should be evaluated and you should be rewarding yourself for them. So they're using that SMARTER acronym. And those are things that you're going to be either doing on a daily basis or on a weekly basis for each one of your monthly priorities. You shouldn't have more than 3 monthly priorities. And I would say you shouldn't have more than 3 lead goals. The less you can do, and I should practice what I preach, I usually always have 3, the better it is, because you can really focus that energy that you have on getting those goals done. On your 12-week year scorecard, this is the scorecard that you're going to be using to judge yourself each week. You can download it for free in the description below. Each one of these lead goals, which are these actionable goals that you have for yourself, you should be hitting at 85% of what you set out for yourself each week. That way you know you're on track to reach your goals. So let me tell you what mine are to help you plan your own. So under clear pictures of finances, my budget routine, which is on Fridays, that's where I go through my Zero accounting, which is a software program, but I also do my bookkeeping manually just to keep an eye on what I'm spending. I also want to do 25 Amazon videos per weekend, build up my storefront on Amazon. My last lead goal is add my products to Amazon. So my planner is just currently on my Shopify site. When I had my first business, a good chunk of my income came from Amazon, and I've really been slacking on just putting my planner on there. I still have a store, so I might as well. And then for my monthly priority of 5,000 subscribers or increasing my average views, I have organized my music library. So not adding anything to my library just yet. I'm going to do that next month, but organize the songs that I have in my Epidemic Sounds now. Then I wanted to define my YouTube aesthetic. I find like I have a really strong aesthetic in my personal life just because I've always been like that. And also for my brand, if you go to my website, modambition.com, the aesthetic is vibing. The vibes are vibing, and I put a lot of work and intention behind the coloring, the branding, everything being cohesive. So I really want to hone in on the visuals of the video that I'm producing, and I hope that will provide a better experience for you guys as well. And then my third lead goal for YouTube is 6 videos per month and 4 YouTube lives. And then reducing my bloat days. So I want to completely eliminate dairy entirely, just hopefully that'll make me feel better. Drinking enough water each day, and then my 20 minutes of cardio, I'm moving myself up to 30 minutes of cardio and still doing 2 Pilates classes. So think about what are your priorities this month that are going to move you closer to those 12-week year goals that you've set, and then what are the things you're going to track each week or each day that are going to get you towards those monthly priorities. And then lastly, you don't want to forget to control the process. And you're going to do that in 3 different types of ways. First, you're going to use habits and routines. A lot of the things that you want to change about your life, you can just turn into a habit or a routine. You can habit stack it onto something you're already doing. If you're having something change about your routine, I highly suggest writing out your habits and routines in this habits and routine organizer I have in my planner, which I will link below for free for you guys. First, you decide on all the habits you want in different life domains, and then you enter those into different routines throughout your day. The second thing you're going to do to control the process is planning. So on my channel, we go live every Friday, which leads me to my third one, which is accountability, where we plan for the week and make sure we are setting aside time to do the things. And then we also hold ourselves accountable. So we go through that scorecard. I go through my scorecard every week, and you guys can see I'm trying to practice what I preach, and I'm encouraging you guys, and people are encouraging each other. So that's how you control the process: habits and routines, weekly planning, and accountability. So like I said before, you can actually reach your goals in just 12 weeks if you have the right system in place. So it's really important you understand that system. If you want to take a deep dive into the book, The 12-Week Year, I have another video that I teed up just for you that goes deeply into how to apply the 12-week year and all of the strategies detailed in the book for you to watch next. And until next time, cheers to planning, manifesting, and enjoying your dream life. Namaste.
We can make it together.